Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. In today's video we are doing part 8 of the most extreme declutter ever, and we're doing a bit of cleaning as well. So today's part is going to wrap up this series so far. This room anyway. So what I'm going to be focusing on today is cleaning all this, finally getting these shelves done, doing the calax, just generally whipping around the room, seeing if there's anything that I missed, and then I'm going to give the room a really good dust because it badly needs it. You'll see that more of that later on. But I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to the channel if you are new, and welcome back if you have been here before. I again want to thank you guys so much for the support, the absolute amazing support we've been getting on the channel. It is absolutely wonderful, and the community is growing so much. And I really hope you guys are enjoying the series so far, and I really hope you guys enjoy today's part. So I'm not going to waffle on. Without further ado, let's get started. So what I'm going to be starting off with, guys, is these shelves, because obviously they're like the biggest piece or part of the furniture in the room that's exposed. I have mentioned in previous videos we're getting renovations done soon, and one of the things I want to do is be able, when we're getting the renovations done, to literally get plastic or tarp and just seal this whole thing in to keep the dust out of it. So what I'm going to quickly do is go through this shelf. Pretty much everything on here I'm keeping. It's just that stuff got shoved in and just didn't get put away properly. Like I have like some, hair curlers, and I have this little, you guys might remember this from the first video, the little bag of stuff I just never got around to putting away. So we're going to be very honest today. I'm going to show you all the stuff that I'm supposed to have done but haven't done yet. And then just really get this tidied up a bit more. To be honest, a lot of the stuff in this is just stuff that needs to be put away. The Lego and stuff like that will be staying on it, but I'm probably going to move it all up to the top just because it's easier probably just to, if I can, when we're getting the work done, I just want to seal off probably that top shelf if I can. Or maybe, one or two extras, like this will have to stay here because of the height of it, this Lego piece and the lights and stuff. But for the majority, I want to get this most of the way cleared. I want to put everything away that needs to be put away. I still have my pile of books there. Honestly, I haven't started on them. I've been a bit unwell the last couple of days. To be honest, the last 2 weeks kind of on and off. Just with the weather changing and everything, I usually pick up something when the weather changes. But anyway, enough waffle. I have a few bits of clothes to put away, a few bits of things to tidy up. I don't think there's much more decluttering to do. If there is, I'll let you know. But I have a few bits of recycling more than anything as opposed to decluttering. And that's pretty much it. I think the most time-consuming thing is going to be the cleaning. Like these Lego sections here. I'll even bring this one over so you can see. Even this one here, like the dust on it is, I hope the camera picks this up okay. Like the dust on it is quite bad. And guys, this is not the worst of the dust in this room. Like it really isn't. But anyway, the dust got out of hand. I haven't dusted for a long time. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, I want to whip around and get this done. Once I get this done, I'm going to move on to the calax. I have bags of recycling on the floor here that need to be taken out of here. So I will be doing that. I have a few bits of clothes to put away. I have the bin there of all the shredding to do. It's just kind of loads of like little finicky last minute bits to be done. As you guys know, obviously in last week's video, we wrapped up a bit sooner. But to be frankly honest, guys, I think we actually picked a good time because I wouldn't have been able to get the rest of this done and the cleaning done in the amount of time that I would have needed for the video. So it probably wouldn't have gone in anyway. Anyway, I'm waffling now. I'm sorry. I'm waffling. I apologise. I'm going to start going. I'm going to get this. You're going to start seeing me clearing this. I'm going to be putting it on the bed. Dust for the shelves. I need to do the top first. The top ridge needs to be done. But what I want to do first is take off all these individual items, dust them off, move them over here, start putting everything away. Then I'm going to dust the top ridge, dust all of this. I need to do the windowsill, the desk, the calax, the locker. But I'm going to go section by section. I'm also going to have my Dyson fan running to clean any dust I miss out of the air. For anyone who's curious, I'm using this today, flash dust magnet. You've seen me using it before. I use that one. I have the other handle as well. I bought the starter pack instead of the refills. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Anyway, waffle, sorry, love you guys, gonna start. Cool. So in today's video, I want to discuss displaying items. And that's kind of linking into what I've mentioned in previous videos about displaying your sentimental items or your home decor or certain pieces that you're really proud of and want to share, whether that be, a degree you have, a certificate you have, an award you won, anything like that kind of thing. And I want to kind of look at that from the standpoint of it being one of the huge benefits of decluttering, because when you declutter, you create space in your home so that you have room to be able to put these things on display, to be able to showcase them and to be able to enjoy them every day. Because one thing I think a lot of us do is we have really nice items that we want to put on display, but we have so much stuff out that there's nowhere left to actually present them in a way that we would like in our homes. And just a quick note, I am starting off taking off everything on the shelves that isn't supposed to be on the shelves. In case you're wondering why I'm skipping things, that's why. I don't know if the camera picks this up very well, but if you guys can see the amount of dust that's on here. I'm hoping that you can. I hope the camera picks it up pretty well because it is pretty bad. Pretty bad. But yeah, I'm going to, anything like puzzles and stuff like that, I've got a couple of these Hunt Killer sets and stuff. They're going to go into the bottom shelves in the wardrobe. They don't need to be out on display. There's absolutely no reason for it. The only reason, and the jigsaws need to go downstairs. And also I have this, golden snitch cookie skillet. I'm going to think about that. I don't know if I'll use it. It could be cute. I might try it once with my cookie dough recipe that I use. But like that shouldn't be here, it should be in the kitchen. And I have a few random things like that that just shouldn't even be in this room. And they've ended up here somewhere or another. But anything that I'm going to put into the wardrobe, I'm going to be taking off now. And cleaning and dusting. Like obviously these big Lego sets are not going to fit in the wardrobe. I think we've two cubes left in the wardrobe, so they're not going to fit. But I think I'll probably be able to fit like these kind of sets and stuff should go in no problem. But the rest of the stuff won't fit. So yeah. Anyway, sorry guys, I'm very waffly today. I do apologise. I'm not firing on all cylinders, but yeah, I'm basically working down because when you're dealing with dust, it's going to drop. So, let it drop. And I will bring you guys in closer so you can actually see when I'm doing the dust. I'm just doing the individual items at the moment. I'll show you this one as well. So, one large benefit that I've gotten from decluttering is having all this space on the shelves here that I'm working on to be able to display my Lego. So you can see there I have like the pyramid, I have the Fab 5 loft, I have the little kind of figurines there, I got them as a free kit, and I have the tall neck from Horizon. And they're kind of all hobbies and relate to things that I really enjoy and really like. And it's been great to have all that space to put the stuff on display. I also have the light set there from PlayStation, if you see the square triangle X circle, in case you're wondering what that is, that's the PlayStation symbols. But it's been really nice to have that in my room and to be able to enjoy that stuff. And I think that because I've been able to keep this area clear and create this space, you know, I've really gotten a huge benefit out of decluttering in this. And that's kind of a thing that I want to discuss more as we go throughout the video in relation to, you know, rotating display items through that are sentimental or home decor, or whatever items it is you like to display. It could be related to a hobby that you do, whether that be, you know, art you want to display or puzzles. And I'm going to talk about that more throughout the video. I'm actually just thinking, guys, sorry, you guys can't even see what I'm doing. I have a giant puzzle box that I've just put here. You can see it's nearly the full depth of the shelf. It's massive. What I'm just thinking is actually, I might be able to fit the Lego sets up on top there because I forgot that shelf was empty. So I may actually do that. I should be able to fit... Actually, I think I'll fit all of them, to be honest. The biggest issue will be the depth, but I think it should be deep enough. So I might actually start with that now, because it'll be much easier to deal with these shelves if they're clear. But I think I'll start with the pyramid Lego. Then I have the Fab 5 loft Lego, so I'll do them. They're the two like deepest ones. And then, actually no, I'll start with the Aloy one because it's really finicky. And let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Sorry. That one there, I think I'll put that at the back because I don't want that at the front getting knocked over. So I think I'll start with this and then I'll do the other two, because if I could fit the three of them in there, that'd be amazing, because then the shelves could be completely empty. Which means I don't have to cover them when we're getting the renovations done. And I'll just have to cover the doors, which would make my life a lot easier. Yeah, I think I'll do that actually. I completely forgot that shelf was empty. It's amazing what you can forget in a week, lads. Amazing. Imagine how much stuff you can forget in your house after 6 months. Just saying. I'm just saying. But yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll do these now. I'll start with that. I know this video is a bit chaotic, right? And I do apologise for that in advance. Can you guys see the shelves? I'm trying to make it so you can see everything. Yeah, I think you can see everything. Because my brain's running at about 4,000 miles an hour at the moment. I'm trying to think of everything I have to do, but I'm also trying to do it in the way that makes the most sense also. So yeah, I think we're going to do Lego next. Get these dusted off. They're quite dusty. And then start getting working on these shelves. I can show you the dust on these guys, but like, honestly, I don't even think if the camera will focus. Oh, see, there, that's the problem with Lego. You start knocking stuff off. But I don't even think the camera will pick up the dust on this. It's really fine dust. If you guys were here like last year when I was doing a lot of the cleaning videos, or the year before, we've been having renovation work done, and that sand that was in the Dyson, in the Hoover, it's still everywhere. But thankfully they've finally finished construction, or they're nearly finished construction. There's not nearly as much dust. But yeah, I'm after losing 2 pieces off the. Okay, I have them both. I'll stick them back on. Anyway, I'm going to dust these. They're awkward to dust. They're finicky to dust. There's loads of standing up pieces. But look, we're going to do our best and we're going to pop them in. And I'm going to stop waffling and get back to it. I'm going to say one other thing. This duster, although it does catch a bit on the pieces that are sticking out, it's really good for getting into the little nooks and crannies on like these Lego builds. So if you're looking for something to clean your Lego builds, this yoke's pretty good. Just be aware it may catch from time to time. So I was previously there discussing about having the sentimental items and your decor items and whatever, and being able to display them. And what I'm talking about when I'm referring to that is as you kind of get towards the end of your decluttering and you kind of move into the setup of organisation, storage, categorization, all that kind of thing. And I think they are really important steps to do as well. I think you really begin to see the benefits of decluttering. You get to see like how much easier it is to organise stuff when you have less of it. It can become simpler to categorise and to define kind of items into different sections. And I think that's really important. For example, if you're someone who has a lot of sentimental items, you might like to take pictures or blankets or whatever item that you have that's sentimental and put it on display in your home. And you may decide that that'll go, in a certain area or a certain room of your home and stay there for good. Or you may decide to change it out every week or every month or in whatever way you see fit. And I think that it's really important and really beneficial to do the decluttering process so it makes it much more accessible and easy to access all these items. Now, one thing I like to do is, categorize into kind of the different types of items. And I'll give you an example of that. Like, I like to keep my homewares together, soft furnishings, blankets, cushions, pillows, that kind of thing. Because I think they're easy items that can be, used in many rooms. And that can be a really, really nice thing to be able to display in your home. I got very excited here about the duck, and then I broke it in half. That's why you'll see a lot of the duck in this little section. But I think as well, to keep the stuff organised and keep it categorised, it also makes it really, really easy to swap it out. So say, for example, you're going through a room and you decide, I'm going to declutter, 6 ornaments or whatever off this, display area. For whatever reason, you don't like them anymore, you've no attachment to them, they're broken or whatever. I think then if you have your items decluttered and organised well and categorised, it's very easy then for you to swap out with important sentimental items for you then to be able to put on display, and then you can enjoy them. Because one thing about all these items that I have on display is they're all things that I'm interested in. They're related to hobbies or TV shows or games or whatever, and I get to enjoy them every single time I see them. And they bring me joy and happiness, and I really, really like them. Now, can the Lego be annoying to clean? Yes, it can. But it's something that I spent a lot of time building, all these sets. I really enjoy Lego, but it's also I also get to enjoy them because they're all related to stuff that I already love. I don't know how much that you guys missed, but I just moved I finished doing the Fab 5 and it's in there. It actually fits, like there's that between the front of the shelf, fits perfectly. I'm just going to grab the last few Lego bits now and pop them in on top. Well, I kind of want to talk more about home decor and home furnishings and that kind of stuff, because that's one thing I think that has its own categories and subcategories and all that kind of thing. And for one example, a huge benefit that I got from decluttering, and one of the reasons I was encourage people to declutter home decor and all those items, is because number one, it's a category that's regularly skipped. And I know one huge impact it had on me and having too many decor items was at Christmas. We used to have an absolutely enormous amount of Christmas decorations. And when I began my more recent decluttering journey, like my big decluttering journey a few years back, I began to kind of look through each different category of stuff I didn't think about, stuff I didn't deal with every day. And Christmas decorations was one of them. And one thing I noticed with it is when it came up to Christmas time, I loved to have the decorations up, but I didn't like putting them up. I didn't like taking them down. I didn't like dealing with that aspect of it, because to be frankly honest, I found it really, really stressful. One of the big reasons for that was because literally we had so many Christmas decorations. And rather than it being, a fun, enjoyable experience of, seasonally decorating the house, it was like, oh my God, we have so many boxes to take down. It's going to take forever. It's going to be so tiring. We have so much stuff to go through. We have so many decisions to make, and that kind of takes a lot of the fun out of it and the enjoyment out of it. But it also meant that literally having the Christmas decorations, a lot of them weren't getting enjoyed, because I would take out stuff in a particular order and I'd put them all out, and then there'd be loads of stuff on the tree or whatever that I didn't really like, or loads of decor up that I didn't really care about. And then by the time I got to the stuff that I liked, there was no room left for it. So one job I decided to take on was we would go and put everything that we really liked out first, and then everything else that was left in the boxes, we would throw away or reorganize. And then following that, went to IKEA and bought the clear plastic boxes to keep everything organised so that we could see it. And I have to say, it is one of the best decisions that I have ever made in decluttering. Just in case anybody's wondering, I'm just popping these cables here. These are the chargers for my watch, or not for my watch, for my toothbrush and my camera battery. So I'm just popping them there so they're easy to get at. And what I'm trying to do is I'm popping a few little bits in at the front. In here, but what I'm trying to do is just keep it all up to the top section there, and I'm just putting a few little bits in just to get them off here, because they will probably go back on the shelves afterwards. But ideally the shelves won't be here, but we'll see what happens there. But I don't want to make it so that every time I put my hand into a shelf, everything's falling out. I'm knocking loads of stuff over. I want all the shelves to still be tidy, to be organised, to be accessible. So there's just a couple of little things I'm putting in the front. I didn't actually show you guys the bottom. So the bottom middle shelf is the only one that was accessible, because what I forgot was that I had to put the weighted blanket back in, and that's shoved into the second last one there. So we're getting through this. No, it's not taking too much time. The problem is it's finicky, especially cleaning that Lego. I would also suggest, if you're someone who's cleaning Lego, and I know this is probably completely unrelated to the video, but I'm just saying it because we've crossed it. If you're cleaning Lego, I would suggest do it. The person who built it, make sure they're around. If that's not you, if it is you, great. And make sure you still have the manual, because they can fall apart a little bit, especially like that, the pyramid one I did. All the little trees kept popping off and catching in the duster. Also, I don't know if you guys can see it that great, but I'll show you a clean one. So let me just fluff it out a bit so you can see the colour of it. So that's a lovely clean one. Oh, beautiful. Only gorgeous. Madden. That's the used one. So you can see as you go, they really grip up, which is what they're supposed to do. They trap the dust. But I'm gonna do the last few little bits. There's a few little clean spots still on this. Here's one. Over here at this side, so I'm using a little bit more. I haven't seen any dust fall off, and I've been watching for it. I might give you guys a clean, no harm. But if I see a drop of dust fall off this, I'm throwing it out. I'll get rid of it and change it. The stuff we're getting into now is mainly clothes, bags. I'd say like a couple of minutes is going to do all of this stuff. Just get all this stuff put away. I also have a bag of socks here on the floor in front of the Kallax, and I have a couple of bras. I'm going to throw them into the drawer unit once I hit the clothes as well. So I think we're pretty much done with this wardrobe now. We can close it. And then we can move on to cleaning the rest of the place. A reason as well I wanted to tackle kind of home decor, furnishings, decorations, display, that kind of thing today is because, as I've mentioned previously in the video, it does cover a lot of categories. Now, some people will consider certain things not part of home decor, some people will, you know, blah, blah, blah. For example, some people might not consider Lego sets as decoration or home decor. They're like, oh, that goes in toys. But to me, I love to put them on display. So to me, they kind of fall under the category of decoration or decor, you know, and it's the same with like your seasonal stuff, especially kind of this time of year. We're going through a lot of different seasonal times and holidays, especially if you're someone who decorates for them all. You know, we've had spring, we had Valentine's Day, we've Easter coming up, you know, and so on and so forth. And that's just within the spring season. And I'm sure there's multiple variations in between that, and religious festivals and everything else that I'm forgetting. But I'm referring back to, you know, decluttering, because that's what this series is about. And I think it's important to make sure that you, number one, enjoy the stuff that you have. Like, it's all well and good to declutter and get rid of 80% of your stuff or 30% of your stuff or whatever. But I won't say no point, but it's less worthwhile, I suppose I'll say, if you do that and then you're still left with stuff that you can't enjoy. You're still left with, you know, so many decor items that you don't know what to do with them. You don't know where to start. You know, so many items on your shelves that you can't even put the display items, you know, out. And that's one of the reasons as well I'm going room by room. And I'm going like section by section. Because for me anyway, when I pull everything out of the entire room and put it on the bed, which I've done in the past and it does work, and I have done it, it gets very overwhelming. I get tired way too quickly. I also don't think I'm as effective, should I say, at decluttering, because I get worn out too quickly and I get exhausted. And also it's like it takes a lot of mental energy to go through that process. And I think with display items and stuff like that, for people, they can be very hard. Display items can come from sentimental. They can just come from just general decor items. They can come from gifts. They can come from homewares. They can come from jewellery. They can come from, you know, photographs. They can come from a million different categories and subcategories and everything else. And that's why one of the things that I like to do is to, you know, be really mindful and be really specific about the stuff I put on display. But also when I'm keeping items, to think about it that way. Like you will have seen in last week's videos, I had some cushions. I've kept onto them for 2 or 3 years and I don't take them out. Because honestly, I don't use them. I don't like them. They're not very comfortable, you know, which is an example of, you know, cushions. But I think it's important as well when decluttering, you know, display items and that kind of thing, decor especially, home furnishings. You know, we also, I think, have to look at it from a practical standpoint, because it's not just your, you know, really fancy stuff that you put on display. It also includes stuff that you use day to day. Like, you know what I mean? Your curtains, you're not going to change them all the time realistically, but like bed covers and bed sheets. And I think it's important to keep stuff you like as well with that, because it is stuff you're looking at all the time. It's something like, you know, bed covers are something that you look at every night before you go to bed. And I think being mindful of that going through it is important. Don't say hello. Mr. Supervisor wanted to pop in and say hello. Hello. So, we're under starters orders now. We need to start working harder. Isn't that right? Boop. Best boy. Another one of the reasons why I wanted to discuss display items today is because they're not like a lot of other categories in that they're stored in particular bins and boxes in particular areas. Like, yes, they can be, but for the most part, there's stuff that you're looking at every day. They're the cushions in your living room, you know what I mean? The throw pillows on your bed. You know what I mean? They're the paintings or the photographs or whatever on your walls. There's stuff you're seeing regularly. There's stuff you're looking at constantly. And I think that's why it's one of the categories we need to be very mindful of, because it can be quite impactful when you're surrounded by this stuff all the time. I know a lot of other categories, clothing and all that kind of stuff, is stored behind doors or behind drawers, and it's away and you don't have to look at it. And it's easier to categorize. But I think display stuff is so important to be mindful of and to really think about when you're decluttering. Because as I said, it's stuff you're going to have to look at every day, be surrounded by, and it's going to impact your space. Okay guys, so to explain a bit what's going on here. I've some recycling in there and some, it's not really much recycling, most of it's like normal waste or clothes, fabric and that kind of thing. That's a laptop. Behind that is like electrical recycling that has to go downstairs. Here I have stuff that I need to shred or has personal information, like there might be 2 pages in that have personal information that I need to shred, so I'll do that. This is just regular recycling. This is just regular recycling. And if you want to look here now, guys, I know it's on white, that's what I'm kind of trying to do while it's a bit shadowed. You can see how bad the dust is. Like, it's really bad. Like, it got totally out of hand, especially on the bottom there. You can kind of see it on this as well. And you guys were here when I cleaned this like a week or 2 ago. So it is bad, and it just got really bad, and it's all over the shelves and everything. I don't know, will the camera pick up that? I think it will. You can see the line there between the dust and the clean side from where that, I can't remember what was there, was it a book or a box or something, but you can see the division. But the room is incredibly dusty. Everything here on the floor needs to come out of my room. Everything here. That laptop I'm going to put in next door into where my office space is. All these bins need to be emptied. That is the Wi-Fi, one of our Wi-Fi repeater thingies. That's cabled, so that's not going anywhere. As you can see, there's not much stuff here on the bed. It's mainly just the duster stuff. Like, I have my little diary there. That's going to go into the stationery section in the wardrobe for now. And that bag will go up on top of this wardrobe here with the other bags. But we are getting there. That plastic drawer unit, I have the 3rd drawer for downstairs in the kitchen, so I think I'm going to bring that down as well, because realistically it's going to have a home downstairs, probably in craft section. I was going to put it into stationery, but it's going to overcrowd the shelf, to be honest. I may put it in the office. Yeah, I did get rid of a couple of things today, declutter. I didn't think I would, really, to be honest. I got a good few more bits of paper there and recycling and stuff like that. Oh, here's another one. So that was pretty good. This mask I found, it's been open on the shelf. I don't know how long it's there, so it's going. Single sock, I've had that for ages. I don't know where the other one is. It's going. And then I have this cute pillow slip, thingy cushion slip. I could never get a cushion to fit it, and also I realised there a few minutes ago when I checked, the zip is burst. So, and that's why I remember I never used it, because the zip was burst when I got it. I have a million bookmarks. I don't need another one. That's to open a phone, to take out the SIM card. I always say don't get rid of them. I'm going to pop it in here for the moment, into my little front section. I have like 80,000 paper clips. I'm going to let them go. That needs to go into the drawer with the other underwear stuff. This needs to go into my office space as well. It's my backup card. This is the hairband I'm using at the moment. I use it to do like my skincare and stuff in the morning, so I have it here. I'll pop it back in here. Now this is something I've mentioned to you guys before. This like dust, it's like pinky purple. I don't know why it's pinky purple. The only reason I can assume, like, it's pretty bad, guys. It's pretty thick. Like, no wonder my lungs are in ribbons. I can only assume it's pink coming in through the curtains. But genuinely, I do not know why. You can see the dust is everywhere. And I think there's just so much dust on this unit. There's so much dust on this unit, and especially up in that lip up the top there. It really gets caught up in there. Oh, and on the windowsill there, which I will be cleaning later as well. It's very thick. I think the dust is just so thick everywhere that it just keeps breeding more dust. You know, obviously you clean it off one area. If you don't clean it properly, it's in the air, it lands, it spreads, blah 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 blah. And as I said, the construction work down the road hasn't finished yet. We have a couple of neighbours who've started construction work. Anyway, I know this has been a bit of a chaotic video, right? I'm not finished yet, don't worry. We've gotten through a good bit today, so far. Those shelves are completely clear over here. I have nothing to put back on them. Drawer unit's going downstairs. That's just going to be put away where it belongs. Oh, and these books here, I've decided, because I know I had originally said I was going to put them on the shelves, but I've cleared the shelves now. So these books here are actually going to go into, I've decided to put them in the second drawer. It's totally empty. It's a good place. They're near my bed. That's realistically where I'll probably read, so it makes sense to have them there. So I said I'd talk about this quickly. I know it's kind of off topic, but it's relevant as well. So I know I've mentioned a couple of times that there's renovations coming. I wanted to seal the wardrobes, that kind of thing. So we've quite a few people in the channel, in the community. So I'm going to roughly, just quickly, like a couple of minutes, probably not less than a couple of minutes, just touch on this to explain what I'm talking about. So we were due to get renovations done before Christmas. There was a couple of delays due to numerous reasons. If you've watched my other videos, you probably know why. Spoke about it more in the lives and stuff like that. But the renovations are due to start, I believe, in April. I'm not sure when in April, but in April, so in the next couple of weeks. So bearing that in mind, I'm trying to get organised now, so that when it comes to the time for the construction, I'm not going to be kind of put out too much, because obviously I still need to film even though there's construction going on. I hope you guys can hear me okay. That was rolled into my shirt. I'm still going to have to film even though there's construction going on. So I'm trying to plan as best I can so that when that happens, it's not going to be too much of a hindrance. Like, I am going to take footage throughout the renovation process. I don't know how much footage I'm going to get. I don't know how many videos, or if it's going to be one video or what. It also depends on, the builder that we have. He may not be comfortable with me filming when he's there, whatever, which is absolutely fine. But there's like plans we need to go in place, like where we're going to sleep. So quick, rough overview version of what we're getting done. There's work being done on the ensuite bathroom. There's work being done on the next door bedroom. There's work being done on the main bathroom. That's just the floor. I think the tiles are broken. They're just getting fixed. We might be getting new tiles. I'm not sure. The room next door is getting done, and most importantly for me, this room is getting done. There's renovations coming. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible so that I have to do as minimal cleanup as possible. So the idea is to get everything into the wardrobes or into the lockers, whatever, so that it's a case when the renovations happen, we can seal the wardrobes and take all this stuff out of the room. Basically, because I want this whole floor has to be cleared. It has to be. There's no way around it. The carpet has to come up and the floor has to be repaired. So there needs to be nothing in this room. So I'm trying to do everything I can now to make sure that's like a flawless transition. And then literally just I can tape close the wardrobes or whatever. I'm still doing research into the best way to do that, to seal it and stuff. One thing I may do is seal it on the inside and then close the doors over. I've read that that's good. Anyway, so I'm going to start by doing the desk over there. I'm going to work my way around the room. I'm going to do the desk there. That won't take me long at all. Quickly whip over the window frame and the window sill. There won't be much dust on those windows. And in case you're wondering, I'm not going to wash them today. I'm going to wait till later to deep clean them. We have a guy who comes and washes the outside of the window, so thankfully that doesn't need to be done. I'm then going to do the top of the wardrobe, all the shelves, and then the Calax unit, which will be clear by then, and then finish with the locker. And then I'm going to be pretty much done. I am going to hoover the room, and I am going to change the bed. I may not fit on that. As I've said, I'm under kind of time constraints today. So I'll see how I get on with that. I have the Dyson fan running all the time. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, and that's just going to catch all the dust in the air, because there is a lot of dust in the air. And I'm allergic to dust. So anyway, I've waffled on long enough. I'm going to move on. I'm going to get these books done, get them into the drawer. I'm going to do that now first before I do anything. And then I'm going to move all the stuff out of the room, and then I'm going to get to cleaning. And then I will check back in with you guys when I am finished with that. So I think a thing as well I want to talk about is how to categorize decor items. And what I mean by that is basically, if you're storing them, if you're organizing them, if you're swapping them out or anything like that, to have some kind of system in place, that works for you. For example, you might have your neutrals, whether they're cushions or throws or blankets or whatever, and they go with everything. And they might be your kind of basis, and you use them all year round, and they're constantly on display. And then you might have obviously like your seasonal stuff. Like if you look here on my bed, I have the red cushion, and yes, it has a candy cane on it. which yes is technically Christmas, but it's a really comfortable cushion and I love it. So like I probably should get a new cover for it that's, works better throughout the year. But for right now, that's there and it's fine and it doesn't bother me. But it's this kind of thing that I want to talk about as well. The kind of mindfulness around your decor items. Are there items that you have that can be used throughout your home, throughout the year? Stuff that you may have in with could be your seasonal decor, whether it's spring, summer, autumn, winter, whatever. That could work for you and be usable for you all year round that you may not have considered before because, say, for example, it's neutrals of, cushions or whatever, but because you bought them in, around Christmas time, you might associate them with that. Or, whatever winter holiday you celebrate. But what I mean by that is it may just be a plain item. Like it might not necessarily have snowflakes on it. It could just be, whatever colour. And just kind of being more mindful within stuff like that. And also, I would say it's important to create storage space for these items. For example, if you're somebody who has a lot of excess storage, maybe excess is the wrong word, but if you have a lot of storage in a particular room, you might even consider for yourself to start storing the home decor or furnishings or whatever for that relevant room in that room if there is the storage space for it. For example, in a bedroom, if you have, say, a storage box or extra room in a cabinet or under bed storage like drawers and stuff, you may start using them for quilt covers or pillows or throws, blankets, whatever, relevant home furnishing we're talking about, and keep it stored in a room. And that could be a really good solution for you. And then you could even use that particular area to go, right, for each room, I'm going to keep 2 bed sets or 3 bed sets or whatever, whatever you choose. I know 3 is very popular because people say you have 1 on the bed, 1 in the laundry and 1 ready to go. For bed sets, for example. But I think that can be just one good example of the 3 set rule there, but to keep them stored in the areas where they're relevant. So they're easy to swap out, they're easy to turn around, they're easy to change out all the time. And also so you're getting the benefit of them. I know in a previous video that I did a good while back, we went through, home furnishings and quilt sets or quilt cover sets specifically. I didn't think I had that many. I think I managed to get rid of about 6, if not 8, and I still have 5 or something left. Like I have a lot. But like that was one thing we decided to move upstairs and store in the upstairs airing cupboard. And it really has made such a big difference. Now, I'm not a person who has a lot of decor. Obviously, you guys can see that in my room. I don't have pictures on the wall and cool slogans and posters and, artwork and photographs and all that kind of thing. It's just not something that I've ever really done. Is it something I may do in the future? Possibly. But for me, when I think of home decor, I think of seasonal items. Number 1 is the main thing I think of, but I think of more like physical items, like ornaments and that kind of thing, and cushions and throws, because they're the kind of things that I like. But I think as well, there are so many different categories, as I mentioned much earlier in the video, about what display items are. They are different things to different people. And obviously, depending on what you consider a display item, you'll have a different way of storing it. You could even have a different way of decluttering it. I also want to apologise there for the barking. My apologies. And the reason I'm referring to that is because obviously you're going to store and declutter photos differently than you're going to declutter like cushions. Cushions are pretty big items. It's a yes or no thing. Photographs, they have to be gone through. They have to be sorted. There's certain categories. You may not want them. Somebody else might. There's all these varying factors. I'm not going to get too much into it. If you want me guys to discuss that more, absolutely drop me a comment below and I can do that. But what I'm really getting at is that display items and decor and items like that are such a kind of broad topic. You know what I mean? They're not just like, clothing. If it doesn't fit, if you don't like it, get rid of it. The kind of thing. They cover so many categories. They cover so many meanings for different people. They cover so many different kind of aspects of life. Like some of us have display items that are also functional items. I know, for example, in our kitchen we have a spaghetti like measurer, I guess you could call it, on the wall, and it's a decor piece and it hangs on the wall, but it's also a functional piece. Like it does work. You could use it to measure spaghetti, and like there's items like that, and that's why I think like display items have their own category in that way. And that's why when you're decluttering it, oftentimes what I'll do is I will put display items in with other categories. You know what I mean? If it's ornaments, I'll put it in with, you know, other ornaments, other display pieces, that kind of thing. But I kind of felt that it was something that I should discuss separately because, you know, obviously you can put display items with display items and all that kind of thing, and that's really simple and blah, blah, blah. But I think like it's a very different beast when you're decluttering. A lot of us have, you know, antiques that are display items, or some people even have entire furniture pieces that are display items. Like the literal furniture piece is the display item. And I think bearing that in mind when doing that is important. Also, you can have, you know, functional display items, as I've already mentioned. You know, some of them are for form. Oftentimes we'll have display items that are not just owned by one person in the house. They can be owned by multiple people in the house. You know, especially if you're someone who is in a long-term living arrangement with someone, whether you're married or engaged or whatever, you're just cohabiting, whatever it is, you may have gathered many things over the years, you know, from trips or just from gifts from people, you know, and that stuff can be, you know, challenging to declutter because it's not just you making decisions on items. You have to, you know, consider other people in them and discuss it with them, and also figure out that if you've come up with a particular aesthetic or a particular design for your entire house or even an area of your house, you know, when decluttering these items, you have to consider, am I happy with that blank space there? Is there something else I want to put there? You know, and that's, I think, where I come back into the point that I was making earlier about keeping display items, that kind of stuff, keep it organized, because then it's kind of an easy replacement to go from, you know, we lost an ornament, we can replace it with an ornament. You know, we took down a picture, we can put in a new picture, that kind of thing. Sorry guys, I'm still astounded by the amount of dust. Like I could see the dust on these shelves. I could see it. These shelves were on display. But like when I actually took everything out, I was astounded, especially that bottom shelf. It's crazy. Sorry, I'm getting distracted, but I had to comment on that while I was looking at it. And again, that's another thing. It's actually a good segue into what I want to talk about, is the way in which you display things can also be a storage solution, you know, after you declutter. You know what I mean? You may choose to declutter something out of a room and put it into another room for a display piece. You know, that is a thing you can do. And I think as well, you know, be sure to not get caught up in like rules of, you know, you have to declutter this way and you must organize it this way and you must do that, because every person is different. Everyone has different things. Everyone has different objectives, different goals, aims, beliefs, all that kind of stuff. And I think it's important to remember that when you're decluttering and when you're dealing with stuff like display items. You know, you have to, as I'm always saying on all of my videos, you have to do what works for you. Now, I want to kind of start wrapping up what I'm talking about here because we are getting towards the end. But one thing I will say is when you're dealing with display items, you know, and decluttering with them, think about if you're going to replace them, how you're going to use them in the future. Are you going to put them somewhere else? Are you ready to let go of it? Does somebody else own it? I think it's important to consider all these things. See if the stuff can be reused somewhere else, or if it is something that you are finally completely ready to let go of. Okay guys, so I just wanted to give you a quick kind of overview. I wanted to show you this. If you can see these big like chunks of fluff on the floor. I don't know if they'll pick up that well on camera, but there's like one there at the top of my shoe. There's loads of these here on the carpet there from the dust that's come off the shelves. Now, as you can see here, there is no dust left on the shelves at all. That there's a mark. I tried to get it off, it won't come off. There's none at all. I've wiped the front, the back, the sides. Same with the locker here. I also pulled out the locker and wiped the side of it, but I couldn't hold the camera while I was doing that. So that's done. I'm going to pop that basket up on top now. There it is, just for now it's fine. As you can see, the fan is running there. I'm running on full. I have it turned down so you guys can hear me okay. Now the next thing I do need to do is hoover the floor, and I also need to make the bed, but the hoover's in use at the moment. My dad's using it, so I'm not going to film it, but believe me that I have filmed it, and I will, or believe me that I have hoovered it, and I will be hoovering it. So I'm actually just going to, I'm going to do it now while I have you guys here. I'm going to pop these away. Sorry guys, there is my journal right there, and I'm just going to pop that bag in there for the moment. That's the handle off my big duster, my lint roller. The handle's off my duster. Oh, this is the back of a bra. I'll put that in the drawer. This needs to go in the hair section, and that toothbrush base needs to go back into the bathroom. I will be changing that. Guys, I've changed the bed how many times on the channel? And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm very tired now. And I really just do want to kind of wrap this up, and wrap up the series as well. At the moment, I'm sure some of you, or many of you, or any of you have been waiting for. So I want you to also include two large blue IKEA bags that are missing from this selection. But this is the overall, because I've been keeping these to show you guys at the end. This is the overall of what I have decluttered from my bedroom. This is everything so far. It fills up the entire floor of another room. So here's the rubbish and stuff from today. The handbag that's going, notepad's going. My little first aid bag, I need to find a home for that downstairs. Recycling. This is the bag for downstairs. This is all the stuff from last week, all the cushions and all that kind of jazz. This is recycling. This is a bag of clothes I'm getting rid of. This is another IKEA bag of clothes I'm getting rid of. Why is the camera not, oh, it's focusing on my hand. Over here, yonder. This is the bag of shoes I'm getting rid of. This is another bag of clothes I'm getting rid of. This is another bag of donations. There's another bag underneath that blue bag. There is the printer I'm getting rid of. There is all the books I'm getting rid of. There's all the DVDs I'm getting rid of. There's another bag of stuff in the back there as well that I'm getting rid of. And there's more donation-y bits there. Oh, and under here there's two more bags underneath here as well. So to give you a general idea of how much room, we don't have that much room in my room. Like, we haven't created an enormous amount of room. There's my laptop in case anybody's wondering. My drawers. It's my office-y setup that you've seen before. But just for context, and there's my shoe. That is how much I have decluttered out of my room. And this doesn't include the bag of cosmetics, which is about half an IKEA bag. And then also the 2 IKEA bags of recycling, shredding and rubbish that have gone out so far. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I was going to bring it all back into my room, but I'm not going to do that because I just dusted. So I'm not going to bring all the dust back in, because that would be counterintuitive. But yeah, you can see there, guys, I've pretty much filled up the entire floor of this room. But yeah, I got rid of a load of stuff. And there's me thinking before I started this series, oh, I might get rid of a bag or two. But yeah, we got rid of a huge amount of stuff. I hope the camera shows you, because in front of me I can see how much it is, but I don't know if the camera's going to show it very well. I hope that it does. That box is just stuff to go downstairs. I just popped it in here to get it out of my room while I was dusting. But yeah, all these bags will be going, like, literally in the next half an hour. These ones here, all these bins will be emptied. But yeah, that is my... If you were wondering what my declutter pile looked like, let me know what you guys think about that. If anyone thought I didn't get rid of enough stuff, what do you think now seeing it all together? But yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. And obviously all this will be going in the next couple of days. I just wanted to keep it because I know I've discussed before decluttering and how much stuff you get rid of. Wow, it is echoey in here. It's one thing showing you my little declutter piles every week, but I really wanted to show you guys, even with all the stuff that's left, like, you guys have seen how much stuff is. That's how much I got rid of. That was the overall declutter pile. I've got my lovely cold fan here blowing at me. It's fabulous. You'd love it. As you can see, the shelves are empty. The Kallax is empty. The locker is clear on top. The desk is clear on top. So I'm really happy with that. So obviously I'm going to be accessing the wardrobes till the renovations start. But, you know, I think when they do happen, I'm just going to have to seal up those doors. That Kallax is clear now, which I'm really happy about, because it became a bit of a dumping ground. And the problem with the Kallax as well is once I put one thing on it, it's like, I'll just put one more thing, I'll get that later, and then all of a sudden there's just rubbish all over it. The fan is definitely doing its job. I feel the air feels really clean in here, which is what I need. I can feel a bit of dust. in my face. But like, I knew that was going to happen, you know what I mean? I could have worn a mask. I didn't want to wear a mask. It's far too, with how warm it is today in here. I also have my bedroom windows closed, which I usually don't. Main reason for that is because there was just a lot of people out on the road. I'm going to wrap up now. I'm going to go get some lunch. It is 3 p.m. We started at around, I think, 11 or 12. Around that time-ish. So I think we did pretty well today. We got a lot done. I'm going to strip this bed. I'm going to hoover the floor. And then I'm going to leave this fan running for like an hour, just let everything settle. And if there's any dust left, I will whip that up at the end. Honestly, guys, I don't think there will be. Those flash dusters are really, really good. They really do hold a lot. That is actually officially, I think, the end of the most extreme declutter ever in my bedroom. Part 1. Now, we will be continuing on with the most extreme declutter ever series, but we're going to be moving to different locations. I may sit down next week and do a live. I'm thinking about doing a live, doing a Q&A, just to celebrate 1,000 subscribers, to get to know all of you. We have a huge amount of new members of the community, so I was thinking about doing a live next week. They usually run for around an hour. So what I would actually really appreciate from you guys is if you're watching this and you've made it this far, thank you, first of all. But I'm also going to pin this probably as a comment and do a community post, but I'm going to ask you here for now. Would you be interested in seeing a live next week? You can ask me questions, Q&A, we'll do that kind of stuff. They usually run for about, 45 minutes up to about an hour and a half. Well, I think we had one once that was 2 hours. They just go until we're finished chatting, basically. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd be interested in that. And you guys can ask me all your burning questions about decluttering and organising and the channel and what's coming up and what we're working on and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, drop it down and let me know in the comments below. I would love your feedback on that, because I think it'd be nice to kind of break up the series a little bit. Like, do the bedroom and then we'll have a week off and then we'll move on to either, we've other bedrooms, but like, I could do a video of me clearing out that room and all the decluttering stuff, but I think that's kind of counterintuitive. We've bathrooms that we need to do. The reason I'm saying the kitchen is because the kitchen is a job that, if you've been on my channel for a while, gets left till the very end. And usually what happens is by the time I get through everything, a seasonal thing has come up and the kitchen just gets pushed back and pushed back and pushed back and doesn't get done. Mainly because the kitchen it's hard work. It's hard work. There's a lot of stuff in it. And also it's not as simple as my room, because I don't have complete decision making power like I do in my room. In my room I get to decide what goes, what stays. Anyway, I'm very concerned my battery's going to run out. It is flashing at me and I don't want to lose the entire end of this video. So I'm going to wrap up right now. Once again, thank you guys all so much for the support. Thank you for watching my videos and all of your feedback. If you haven't already, consider hitting the subscribe button down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and drop me any questions or queries in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys are enjoying the series, and I hope you have enjoyed the end of this section of it, which is the bedroom declutter. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I hope you have a great weekend and a fantastic week ahead, and I will talk to y'all soon. Okay, love y'all. Bye.